Okay, hello. Hi. Yeah. So today we're doing three, which is tier one machine, I believe, on hack the box starting points. What do you call it? Labs, and it basically just involves like AWS stuff. So should be fun. So let me share my screen. All right. Logging in. Sweet. And now I can connect to the starting point VPN. So how I do that is typing out the box SP, and what that is doing is basically, so going to scripts. So HackTheBox SP, that's just moving into my starting point VPN file directory and then just running the OpenVPN command uh, as root. So I'm using sudo. Um, Next thing we need to do is like I need to find a way of automating moving these pins. I used to use a terminal I could do this. I think it was a default one, but I didn't like it as much. So for this one, I need to keep moving them, and I could do like full screen. But um, starting point, machines, I do modder, and that means move, create and move. So like it will create a direction, move into the directory, but I need to know the name of the box. I think it's called tree. So let me just labs starting points. What machine is this? Three. Cool. So modal three, and now we see we're in three. Sweet. So okay, let's spawn this, get the AP, and start doing shit. Take a bit. Okay, so we got the AP. Um, Normally just save this in a directory called IP, just for the sake of keeping notes, I guess. And normally what you do now is run a port scan. So now you're trying to see, okay, what ports are open on the box. And normally I'd use nmap. Actually, if I'm doing like a box, I have like, let's see, I don't know if you all can see this. Let me maybe just increase there we go. So where is this? Is it like here? Yep. So first, I run box and I give it an argument. So the argument would be the IP of the box, and then this function is gonna run recon TCP. So recon is now what's doing the actual, like running the nmap scan, and we run nmap with sudo. So as root, we pass in scv, and that's basically combining sc and sv. Sc is for, the use default scripts for enumeration, and sv is for version detection and stuff like that. Then T4 is just a timing template, which is, what scale is it? Is it like, I think it's aggressive, but it's accurate compared to T5. So T5 is like insane. And basically, if you're running T5, you're sacrificing accuracy for speed. So you don't want that. And then min rate 10K. So you're passing in, 10,000 packets per second. And then doing tac, that's just saying scan the entire port range, and on means, save it to a file. In this case, I call it an app scan, and I supply the IP of the box, and I do dash v. Actually, there's something I've noticed. If I run this and this, there's gonna be a problem because since I'm saving, okay, box doesn't run recon UDP, and UDP, like we're scanning UDP ports in this case. Here we scan TCP ports. Basically, my point is the output, the file, we have the same naming, so I guess I should just change this real quick. Coming to think of it, I don't do UDP scans, but something I should consider. Yep. Other than that, I want to talk about nmap for a bit, because if I go back to, let me just go back real quick. I don't know why I closed it. Normally, if you've been here for a bit, you don't see me combining this two. I've never done that, so I want to explain why I did that. So like the tag T, that T4 I'm using, like I said, it's a timing template. So basically, we have like we start with the first one, which is paranoid. Then we get to sneaky, then polite, then normal, then aggressive, and then insane. And so basically, this is tag T0, then this is tag T1, then this is tag T2, tag T3, tag T4, and this is tag T5. Sweet. So, okay, sorry. So basically, normal is just what it says. It's the normal timing templates Nmap uses. So by templates, like it's a collection of other flags. Like for example, I could say I want to combine tag SC, tag SV, these two flags, and I call it a template, maybe tag TP. So when I do this, it's just gonna have this. So in this case, by timing template to min, it's gonna have flags like min RTT timeout, max RTT timeout, what else? Initial RTT timeout, there's host timeout, and there's max retries. So for these two, you'd run them, I guess, if you're trying to like evade IDS systems. So that's like intrusion detection systems, because the thing is, as you go down, should I say down or up? Like, okay, in this case, as you go down or right, in this case, um, the timeout decreases. So assuming, I guess, tacti zero would be something like 2000 milliseconds, or no, 20,000 actually, and then this would be maybe half of it, and this would be like maybe 15, and this would be like 2K, this would be like 20. So the thing is, the reason why we're using it for IDS is because it takes too long to scan a port. Like it's gonna scan one port at a time. So in like an environment where there are IDS systems, it would be really hard to tell if someone is doing a port scan in your network if you're scanning literally one port at a time in like every say 10 minutes. So that's gonna be pretty slow, but I guess effective in that sense. Um, then TAC-T2 is like where you want to preserve like your bandwidth, and then again you want to use less of the target machine's resources. So you don't want to, like, I guess, um, rely on the machine's resources for the port scan. Like you just want it to be chill. Like, okay, you just do your thing, relax. When you're gonna finish, that's cool with me. And then normal is like um the normal from the name, it's just the default template that Nmap uses when you just run Nmap without specifying the template. Um, this one is fine. It doesn't cause like crashing of the machine or stuff like that compared to things like T5. Then we move to T4, the one I use, so it's just aggressive, and I think its template looks something like this. Maybe this is 1250, maybe 1500, something like 200, and max retires is 2. So generally, for this one, the dynamic scan delay for each port is like it's usually a maximum of 10 milliseconds. So that's pretty good compared to this one, where the um, dynamic scan delay is like 5 milliseconds. And that's why I said you're sacrificing accuracy for speed. Then again, I wouldn't recommend to use T5 if you don't have like we call it, or they call it on the documentation, extraordinarily quick like net, like we're talking gigabytes per second. Um, yeah, so maybe that would be used there, but if you don't, then you shouldn't. Yeah, so this one is generally the sweet spot. Like this is what you'd want to run. On an engagement, it kind of depends with what's on the network, so be very mindful here when it comes to that. Then the second one that I use now, I think I've talked about this one. So now because min rate isn't part of the template, now you can specify it aside from, you know, doing the T4, like specifying the template. So I do 10K. So 10K means, 10,000 packets per second. For HackTheBox machines, this is quite okay. Like the load balancing on the machines is really good. So you don't have to worry about the machine crashing or stuff like that. Compared to starting point, they use this on starting point and you won't like it. So that's the reason. If you haven't been here, I made a simple script to like just do a quick port scan, and let's see. So I mentioned like if you go to top 1000 ports nmap, check the very first link. Normally, if you don't specify nmap with tac it will just scan the top 1000 ports. So normally, I think people usually think top 1000 means from 1 to 1000. That's not the case. They're usually very specific ports, or let's just say common ports. Um, yeah, and these are the ports. So you can see you can't really say it's 1 to 1000, and in this case it's 1, 3, then 4, then 6, then 7, like that. So it's actually up to like the entire let me just use this bar here. It's almost up to the last what's the last port, which is 65,535. Only that, like, it's only looking for common ports. That's what we mean by top 1,000 ports. And so what this script will do is, let's open this. So we have a function, and this function is basically using netcat to, like, you know, check if a port is open or not. If, for example, um, what can I do? My own box, I check for port 80, whether port 80 is open, like this. Maybe I need to add a dash v here. Yeah, so it says open. And then if I have like port 1337, it says connection refused. So the thing is, if you run a command on Linux like this and it runs successfully, when you do an echo of dollar sign question mark, you should get zero. But in this case, I didn't get zero. And why? Because I canceled, like I did a control C. I interrupted the command, so it errored out. But the thing is, using the dash Z flag, let me look at, yep, here. So if you use dash Z, it says zero input output mode. And you can see it says used for scanning. So basically, it's not gonna hang, like the way it's hanging. That sounds so bad though. The way it's hanging like this, it's not gonna hang because it's kind of assuming, okay, I'm waiting for something. Um, I'm waiting to read in something or something like that. So if you use dash Z, it just says open and dies. That's the whole point. So now if you do the echo dollar sign question mark, it says zero. And now this is what the script is using to do the port scan. So basically, for each port in this word list that we have here, the one we saw from um, the website, what was it? Nullsec, yep. Um, it's going to try to, check if the port is open with NC, and basically if the status code, not really status code, but the exit code, when you do the dollar sign question mark, that's the exit code. Basically in bash, if you do an end, it means that the command successfully ran, right? So basically in this case, it knows that if I do an NC on a port and it comes back with zero, that would mean that the port is open because the command ran successfully, and then it's gonna say, you know what, that port is open. But if it's not open, then it won't do the same. So that's pretty much it. And the reason I've put it in this format again is because of threading. So in this case, I'm doing a for loop here to read in each port in the file, and I'm passing in, the function, and I'm giving it a port. And if you've observed, there's an end here. So this one means like take it to the background. And with this method now, we can scan ports with threading using netcat. It's not gonna be like really fast threading like Nmap does, but it's pretty quick actually. Um, yeah. So everything. So in case it doesn't complete the like checking whether the port is open or not, it's just gonna be sent to the background. And the thing is, the script isn't going to finish until each background task is done. So that's what the wait is doing. It's like, okay, you went to the background. When you're done, just tell me what you have. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that makes sense. So, um, yep, I guess in this case, we run the script. So I will copy the IP like this and have it there. What else do we need to change? That's pretty much it. So I'll just run the script like this. And it's done. That's pretty much port scan, top 1,000 ports. And because I know there aren't any other ports, there's no need to do like the full port range, but that would also be a good idea. I guess there's something I saw today. If you do something like, if you take this and then you do like 1 to 65, like 35, it's gonna scan the entire port range this way. So if we run this, um, um, it's not giving us anything because we haven't said, okay, on success, what are you gonna do? Just like in the script here. So I guess we could do that. I'm just showing you how you'd, so echo port, what port open, or how would I actually have no idea how to do that, but let's see. Does it work? Or, because port 80 is open, let's just do 70 to 80 and see the logic of this. Um, oops. So 70 to 80, does it come back with anything? Port open dash V. Okay, like I don't know. Let me see. Can I do like this? Not really. So it's not really a good way to do it, I guess. Or I'll just research and see the best way to do it. But that's how you would like tell it to, okay, scan the entire port range or a specific range of ports. So we know that port 22 and 80 is open. So now from here we can do sudo nmap and we do scv do dash d4, shouldn't specify min rate because you know what starting point machines are. Then we give it the ports, so 2280. What else? We do like give it the IP or just do on for the output file, then dash v, or no, let me give it the IP first. So that's the IP, and then you can do dash v for verbose. So let's run this. So the good thing about doing it this way, because Nmap will first have to scan the ports, which it's pretty slow at doing when it comes to starting point. So the script does this for us, but then we need to like enumerate the ports further. Okay, it's port 22, but what is it? Is it SSH? Okay, I do know it's SSH, but just saying like what version of SSH is it? What version of Apache is running on the web server and stuff like that. So yep, that's pretty much it. And it's done. So if I took the time the script ran and the time this ran, that's less than a minute. So pretty much very effective. So we have two ports. Port 22, like I said, it's SSH, running OpenSSH version 7.6 p1, and it's an Ubuntu machine. If you use Ubuntu, no comment. Um, yep. So it's basically running Ubuntu, like the machine itself. And wait, could I tell from the when you do a ping on the box, it usually like kind of tells you, well, it's not really specific, but the time to live. Whenever I see 63, I know that's a Linux machine. I wish they were more specific in terms of like maybe it's if it's 59, that's Ubuntu and stuff like that. But that's cool. Then the port 80, that's HTTP, that's the web server running Apache. This version. Other than that, the title for the web page is the topaz. Interesting. And that's pretty much it, I guess. So we go to the web server now. So like this. And It's a good looking page, only that it's taking a while to load the images. Okay, is this? Oh damn, that took a while. It was a whole background. Okay, interesting. That's why I said like starting point machines aren't that good in terms of load balancing. So yeah, um you wouldn't want to put a lot of pressure on it, especially when doing the port scan. Why is it like it's getting the background? It's oh, okay, here it is. So the thing I do when I'm doing a box is I find that it's right. Okay, it has port 80 open. I'll run like dnum and then give it the IP. So I keep copying this IP back and forth, but it's fine. So I'll run dnum and give it the IP of the box as the first argument. And when we run this, ooh, that's taking a while. Am I still connected to the box? I'm not. Wait, are we still connected to internet though? I am. Huh. What's going on? It's very interesting. Oh, there we go. But it took a while. That's the starting point. Machines are incredibly slow, but it's fine, I guess. Oh, it's taking a while. Trust me, it's not good. Can I ping the? I wanted to show you all something really cool, but it's not doing the job properly. Can I like reset maybe? Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna explain that in a bit. It's more of an alias. I don't like calling things tools and like they're not like when you talk of a tool, it's like a whole shebang of lines of code and stuff like that. But yeah, it's more of an alias. And just give me a sec. I wanna run it and then explain what it does. Awesome, got a new IP. So ping, not and grok. This okay, this looks good. All right, now let's run dnum on that IP, and you can see um, it's found that the domain name is the topaz.htb. How has it done that? Okay, this thing is still pretty slow though. It's supposed to be like running. I guess I should demonstrate this with like, yeah, it's having like some connection problems. But what it has done basically is it's gone to the web page and it's tried to look for anything that has .htb. Because I noticed most of the Hack the Box machines, you see, like here, you have the email is mail at the topaz.htb. So that would mean this is a domain name for that box. So it uses curl. Okay, let me just show the script part of things. I hope I still have. Okay, I'm still connected. So I guess it doesn't like the whole curl thing. But is it HTTP? Yeah, it should be. So denom. Here we go. So like I said, the first thing it's doing is it's doing a curl on the website and it's grabbing for anything that has .htb. So it could be like for instance the Saturday's box was hatvalley.htb, I believe. Yeah. So, and then it's doing a unique because there could be various occurrences of the .htb. So you just want to grab the unique instances of whatever matches it finds. And then it's gonna go ahead and say, okay, the domain I'm gonna use is the smallest string in the domains that it has found, because when you're doing like fuzzing for, let me just open, can I open a new tab, or does that work? Did I scrolled something up? Okay, cool. I like that. Cool. So if you have like, in this case, it was, I've already forgotten the domain name, sorry, the topaz.htb, and we have something like mail.thetopaz.htb, and we have stupid.thetopaz.htb, we have shopping stupers. Cool. So what I'm saying is it's gonna grab the smallest string, because when we are fuzzing for other other domains like this, we wanna grab this one because that's how Faf will tell, like, okay, I'm fuzzing whatever is here. But if it picked like any domain and it's trying to fuzz, it's gonna do a fuzz like this. So it's looking for anything here on a subdomain, and you don't want to use the subdomain. We want to use the domain to find other subdomains like this. So I hope that makes sense. That's why it's doing so on that other line, it's doing a sort and then grabbing the very first thing. So sort dash n will do like in terms of size, and then list in terms of like smallest to largest, and then grab the very first thing with head. Assume I didn't say head. I'm just okay, fine. Um, so if it finds a domain, then it takes whatever it found to Faf. So Faf, I use dash C just for color, and dash AC for auto calibration. And I talked about this last time. So auto calibration is like if it's finding for four endpoints, it will just filter that out and then just have status codes or sizes that make sense, and then pass the URL. And then here's where it's doing the fuzzing of the subdomains. So it's passing in a header called host, and here's where it's telling it to fuzz. So in this case, in our case, it was the tupers.htb. So it's doing a fuzz.tupers.htb, and then using this word list from seclists. And this one is pretty much okay. There's another one that's a bit bigger, but I've never had problems with this one, so that's pretty much standard. Then a bit of threading to make it go faster, so I'm using 50 threads. And what this one is just like timeout, like when I was talking about nmap, this is the same thing. So yep, 0.1 seconds and an output file of hostnames.out. In case it doesn't find a domain, it's just gonna echo the same command to my clipboard. So I guess I can demonstrate that at least. So if we do denom, I know it's just some random IP address. You see, like it has come back very fast because it hasn't found anything. But if I paste my clipboard, now I have the entire command, and now I can like, oh yeah, that's another thing. So for the purpose of playing the box, um, it's gonna try run faf using the name you've given the folder, and that would be the name of the box. So in this case, it's gonna try like fuzz, assuming the domain of the box is 3.htb. So it's gonna try fuzz using that. And yeah, the whole point of having it on the clipboard is just to edit things that maybe I want to change here and there and stuff like that. Um, yep, that's pretty much it. Maybe I can demonstrate with the box on Saturday. What box was this? At the box machines. What was the name of this thing? Maybe you'll stay, you can fill me in. I generally have forgotten. I do so many. Um, it was awkward, awkward. Yes, sweet. So for awkward, if we run denom, wait, I need to like connect to the actual. Let's just do hack the box. Go, 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 go. It's not going. Okay, it's going. Okay, cool. So, what is the AP of this thing? It was like, or I'll just do. Okay, no, let me just check. Have a different tab here. So this is the AP. So in this case, I just came, slapped that in, and you see, it found like, sorry about the mess. Let me just do it again. So it finds heartvalley.htb, and then it goes ahead, okay, what other subdomains are there? And it's like, oh, I found store.heartvalley.htb. So that's normally how I do my enumeration when I'm doing a box. Yep. So that's pretty much the demo because starting point just said it can't handle that. Where's my clipboard? Can I, do I still have, no, I don't. So let me just do a quick one like this. And then now I can edit this. And what's the IP again? I'll just do like cut IP because I have it in this file. And we saw the tupers. Was it tupers? I believe it was. The tupers. Yep. And we shouldn't use so many threads because again I said these boxes are pretty slow. I'm also gonna get rid of the timeouts, and that looks good. So running this, it's quite slow honestly. Damn. Oh no. It's insanely slow. Oh my god. I'm curious though, is it the box or it's me? Osti, could you tell me if my have I been breaking or I'm just good? Yeah, alright. Thanks. My speed, I use like 20. Uh, oh damn. It's quite slow, but okay, fine. So it's gonna find a subdomain called S3. So the subdomain basically is S3 dot, what is this? The tupers dot HTTP. So we can add this to the local DNS file, which is Etsy hosts, so that it resolves that domain when we um, go to the browser. So like again, keep forgetting. Now we're here, so we slap it there, give it the domain, the tupers. Is it? Oh, it's tupers. Oh, okay, cool. And then give it the other subdomain, or the subdomain basically, because it's the only subdomain, because it's the main domain. And then we can go back to the website and like poke through it and see whether there's anything interesting. So it's talking about a band, and I guess you buy tickets. Yep. Um, so if I do like buy tickets, how many? 10. Send to some fake email. then I pay. It doesn't do anything. So it's just that it's a static website where the links just are dead ends, I guess. Um, check the contact and see whether that has anything. Okay. Oh, that goes somewhere at least. But where is it going to? I think it's going back to the defaults page. That's interesting. Am I using? Oh, the IP changed, so I can actually use the domain that I found now, so I could use the tupers.htb like this to load the page. It's gonna take a bit, I'm pretty sure. Why is it behaving like that though? Like, I know it's bad, but it's not this bad. I'm worried. So it's going to HTTPS, but we know it's HTTP because it's HTTPS is on port 443 occasionally. So if it's going to HTTPS, of course it's not gonna connect to anything. I don't know why it keeps going to HTTPS. Can I do like just give it the IP of the box and then it's gonna resolve the domain on its own, I guess. What is going on? It's the tupers or toppers? Again, just asking. Okay, that could be a reason why. Did you change VPNs? Nope, it was toppers. If I'm not wrong, it is toppers with PP, not oopers. Okay, cool. That explains it then. So we go back and edit. So going back here, Doctor of Topaz. That name is so interesting. Let me cut nmap and see. It's okay of Topaz. Yeah, true. But still, it doesn't look like it wants to connect. Yep, pretty much. Yeah, I can't reach the box. Awesome. Um, I don't know, man. Starting point is just. Can I change what's it called? Can I change like I don't use this new UI though. Like access. Maybe change restarting point. It's not here. Ooh. What can I get the can I change like the oh here you go. Cool. So I'm gonna change my whatever. What do I call it? Starting point here. Wait, it says I'm offline. Did I connect back to oh this is going really well. Yeah, I did. I actually did. Did I? No, I didn't. Sick. So you remember when I was showing you guys the demo for awkward? I forgot to yeah. Then here I'm complaining, starting point, starting point. No, but for real, like the connection of starting point is really bad. Just saying. There we go. I was almost about to start a whole drama called changing my VPN connection stuff. So you are at contact. Where is contact? Okay, here. So we put this. We put that as well. .com. Just have junk there. Send. Uh, okay, stick a bit. So it says 44 not found. That's interesting. Is it 44? Because this PHP page doesn't actually exist. That's dumb. That's really, really dumb. So I'd call it a bare bones static page. Like it's not gonna do much. It's just a page. Like there's nothing more to it. So let's go to the other the not the other but the subdomain. So it was s3 dot topaz.htb. Oh, it's topaz. I swear that name. I don't have it really. Let's see. Sudo. Let's see hosts. The topaz. What do I have? Oh, I have topaz. Great. So I changed this back to the topaz. Cool. So it says status running, and that's basically it. So the minute you see S3, you think AWS. Then after thinking AWS, you think, okay, that's a cloud service. So after thinking cloud service, you think, okay, S3 is like an S3, bucket, and it's basically a storage service on AWS. Um, yeah, or the Amazon Web Services. So the way we're gonna connect to that bucket is using AWS CLI. I don't even know if I have it. Do I? I don't think so. Let me see. AWS. Nope. So you install it by running sudo apt install AWS, I guess CLI. Really? Cause it's not AW or it's like this. Yep. So AWS CLI without separation, I guess. But is that the actual thing? I think I need to confirm because that doesn't look good. Let me just check it from the GitHub. So it's just what a command line interface to help you like interact with a web service. It doesn't have to be an S3 bucket. It can be something else. So yep. How do you install this? AWS CLI or using Python? Oh really? Okay. I guess I can just do this one. Is it using Python or Python 3? Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. Is it going? I can't see it. Okay, pretty much going. But I don't know why. I don't know, but my internet doesn't look like it's agreeing to cooperate, which is fine. But the problem is this gonna take a while. Maybe I can talk on AWS, but since I don't do cloud a lot, what am I talking about? Um, yeah, I guess we'll just chill a bit and maybe you can ask questions before this finishes because it's going pretty slow. I wish I installed this before the session started. So, any questions that you want to ask on call? No questions? Wait. The other enumeration I do when we're talking of websites, apart from dnum, there's dar enum. So, just means directory enumeration. Um, so first of all, it's gonna echo the command to my clipboard, just for editing purposes, and then it's gonna run the same thing, only that now it's enumerating for directories. But the thing I don't like about FAF is it's it's not 100% accurate, and I'd tell you this because I was doing the new box on Saturday and it wasn't able to find the slash API endpoint. And that got me into a whole rabbit hole. And because, the good thing about finding the slash API endpoint is, okay, there was an app.js on the web server. So if you knew there was a slash API endpoint, then you could go to the app.js, start analyzing it, and, find other endpoints on top of it. But you see, having just bare bones, I think I had like I don't think I found directories per se. I found like just .hd access files and stuff like that, which I couldn't access. Um, yeah. So I don't know. I need to dig more into FOF because I didn't like that. Actually, because I was going for first blood, and now I couldn't get blood. That was so bad. Yeah. Oh, and it also didn't find a slash HR directory. So, because I believe that would be in this file. If we cut this file, we should get HR. So grep, you can see I tried to do the grep for HR, and there's HR there. So I don't know why I didn't get that. But it's a problem. Puff is good, but I don't know. Sometimes no, nope, nope, nope. Yep, that's pretty much automated enumeration that I do, I guess. Yep. What's up? Yep. Peroxbuster. So it's not a problem with the word list. It's a problem with FAF because actually we checked like if you do like FAF help, there's a switch for directory mode. So I guess sometimes it just ignores directories for some weird reason. This one, the dash capital D, so dash search word list compatibility mode. So you use that together with the dash E, maybe if you want to look for PHP files within those directories. So I don't know. I guess it's just a matter of it ignoring like um, directories. Probably, I guess it's good at finding files and not directories. Because if you use there's dar search, right? Dar, yeah, I actually ran it. So if you use dar search with the same word list, you will find slash API and you will find slash HR. So I'm not really sure why FAF couldn't get those ones, but I'll look into it because it was so annoying. Yeah, exactly, exactly. But IPSec is always like it's go buster and nothing else. Like you can't convince him like any other tool. So I guess everyone is comfortable with the tool he uses. It's a matter of understanding what the tool does. Um, yeah, and how it works. So now that AWS CLI is installed, you could run like AWS, then you give it the external URL, and that would be the URL of the S3 subdomain because we know it's running like an S3 bucket. So you do like this S3 dot the topaz.htb. The next thing you do is just give it S3, and I guess that means like connect to S3. I'm not really sure the essence of like having S3 here and then having S3 again, but yeah, we usually give it that, and then like you give it a command. So I can do like ls to list the buckets. So if I run that, doesn't look like it ran though. Let me see. Is there anything I'm missing? Um, let's just check the help. And not really. Can I do like external? What am I doing? External help or URL? All right, go to Google, connect to S3 buckets, AWS, CLI. Cool. Wait, from Amazon, the documentation, pretty cool. Let's see, how do you connect to an S3 buckets? Wait, that's pretty much it. Are you serious? Oh, you stop. No, I don't want this. I want something else. No, go back. Let's look at this. Uh-huh. Endpoint URL equals. Oh, you need to do the equals. I guess that's pretty much what I missed. So we do external URL equals and then S3, then ls, and it says invalid options. Oh, it's not external, it's endpoint URL. Sorry guys, I guess I really hate AWS stuff. So like this, I guess, URL, cool, awesome. So it says unable to locate credentials. So you can configure creds by running AWS configure. So let's do that. AWS access key, I don't know, no idea, no region. I could do like US East 1 because that's normally where um like the default region for AWS. Format none. Okay, let's try that again and see whether it accepts that I don't know nothing. Like I don't have those keys and stuff, but it still says unable to locate credentials. All right, so the next thing I'll do is just like give it dummy data when I'm doing the configuration. So here we'll have like John Collins US East 1. Good. So let's see if that works now. And yeah, we are able to list the buckets called the troopers.htb. So the reason why I guess when we had blank uh, configurations like didn't work is because like the endpoint isn't really running AWS, it's running local stack. See local stack. So instead, yeah, this one. So instead of like having AWS itself in the environment, it's like hosting AWS on local stack. And you see, like local stack doesn't have IAM, and IAM is like the way AWS handles configurations and stuff. So that's the reason we just put in dummy data, and it was like, okay, you got something, so just go ahead, get access to a service, list the buckets, do whatever you want. So that's the reason it worked. And that's really bad, but that's good for us. So we're able to list this. Now we need to just list the contents of the bucket. So how do you do that again? Here's where you go to a whole rabbit hole. I guess you do S3. So you give it like a protocol, like S3 as a protocol, like the way you do like HTTP, HTTPS, and then give it the name of the bucket, and then run the command again. It doesn't work. So I guess, do I need the S3 that was here originally? I don't know. No, I don't. So let's go back. Let's go back. John Collins has no idea to do this shit. So what are we doing? Connect to, yeah, should we connect to S3 bucket still? Let's go to this blog. I'm relying on knowledge from a box called bucket. So I guess pretty much I'm still gray on that. So let's see. Profile, not really. Do we like get rid of the URL and like just connect with according to what I'm saying? Let me try that. So like this, is this how it's supposed to be done? Not really. Let me try copy this. And we don't want to use copy, we want to use ls. And we're trying to connect to the toppers.htb. Does that work? The access key you provided does not exist. That's funny. Because I just provided one. So do I need to like configure? Let me try it. Use the um. It wasn't external URL. It was, what was it? Let me just check. Okay, endpoint URL. That's it. URL equals to the URL, right? So like this. Does that work? Awesome. So John Collins, when it comes to AWS, he's just an idiot. And I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I need to like refresh on this shit. So so we give it the endpoint URL, and then we specify S3 again. So like I said, you're trying to connect to the bucket, and you give it the command, and then you specify the bucket in a protocol sort of format. So we can see when we list, we get like .ht access and we get index.php. So the funny thing about this is index.php is what's running on the web server. Because if you go to the browser and you go to like index.php, um, is it on this subdomain or it's on the other subdomain? I mean the main domain. So let me just clarify that. I guess we get rid of this, and I got rid of the whole of it, but like this. If it doesn't error out, it means this page is running on PHP. So like if we check Opalizer, you can see the programming languages is PHP, meaning index.php is like the default page on this website. So if you do like HTML, um, what's it gonna say? It should like say 404 or something. Yep, awesome. So that's the point there. So meaning if we can drop a file here, we can like access it and maybe run commands and stuff like that. There's also images which I frankly didn't see. Let's see whether I guess we could have found that with like directory listing, which I could have tried, only that the box is really slow. So like this, images, awesome. So like we get the images and we know we can clarify that um, the buckets, in this case, storing or is storing the entire web server root directory. So yeah, let's try drop a file. In this case, I run like mime images. And again, now I have to tell you the story about this. So I don't think it's on HTTP, it's like on CTF or something. So yeah, pretty much. Um, mime images is an alias to like create two different PHP files. One of them is intended to help with like bypassing like MIME type filtering. So like the instances where if you're doing a CTF and then you're told, okay, upload a JPEG or upload a PNG, and then what it's doing is it's checking the first, I guess, 4 bytes, and if it checks that the first 4 bytes aren't in the range of like PHP or JPEG or what else, GIF image, it's not gonna upload it. Other cases, it just generally just, I guess, do we really say bytes? Because this one isn't in bytes form, but I guess it does the same. So GIF 89A is like the magic byte for what for a GIF image. And maybe I could talk about this. Maybe let me just talk about it. The way I came up with this byte array is basically if you go to like magic bytes, maybe PNG, and then come here to the wiki. Um, in the case of JPEG, because that's what I have here, this is the byte array for JPEG. So in short, if you do a file on this, you will get a JPEG. And let me just show that. So if I do like, let's do an ls, it's this one. So if I do a file on this, it says JPEG, but it's actually a PHP with like stuff there. So I was talking about like how I came up with that. So these are the raw bytes, like the very, how can I explain this? The like top bytes, the very first bytes of a JPEG image. It's always like this. It's standard. So what I do is like I copy. I start by copy because if I copy this, it's just gonna copy it badly. But I start by copying this, and I come to Python, and I do like import Binaski because I wanna combat. I like wanna what? I'm trying to like decode the hex. This because this is in hex. So I do like Binaski dot an hexlify, and then I pass in the bytes. So I give it like this, or the hex, because they're not yet bytes really. So I do it like this. So this is the pain I didn't want to do each and every time. That's why I created the alias. Like this. Sweet. So now you get this. You get the byte array. So now with this, you can um echo dash e, and dash e means interpret the byte array, because if you don't have that, it's just gonna have it like a normal string and it's all gonna help you. So the dash e says, interpret each byte, and then you like put it to a file. So we can call it like 0day.php. So if you do a file on 0day.php, you get it a JPEG, and that's how you can like bypass MIME types and stuff like that. Um, yeah, that's basically it. So the function does that. So I just have the bytes there, then put it into a file, and then have the command I want to run inside the file. And it's just going to create another one just to be safe. So if you have a file starting with like gif 89, so if I do like again 0day.php, I have git, it's gif 89a like this. If you do a file on that, you can see it's a GIF image, and yet you know very well it's a PNG. So, I mean, it's a GIF, sorry. So yeah, that's some cool stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. So now that I ran my images, I have these 2 files. Maybe I could just cut them. So one is a GIF, one is a JPEG. And now I can upload these files to the S3 buckets. So I could have like, where's the command? Here you go. So instead of ls, you do like a copy, because that's what you saw here. Where was it? That's actually the command that helped me like retrace. Where is it? Here we go. So you say like copy a file to the S3 bucket. So we can copy revshell.php to the S3 bucket like this. And it says it uploaded that file to the S3 bucket. Sweet. So if we come back here to the main, or yeah, to the web server basically, and you do like revshell.php, it's gonna do a Google. That's really bad. So let's just have that properly. Let me just type it out. webshell.php. So you can see it always does this because it's PHP, like it's trying to run whatever is there, but it's just gonna it's more or less doing an echo here because it's trying to run whatever is in the file, but um, these bytes aren't really, I don't want to say runnable, that sounds so bad. They can't do anything. So we can see now, let's try list commands, and I'm going to use the cmd get parameter because that's what I specified in my code. Let's just cut the file. So I said like run system on anything I pass through cmd. So that's basically what you're doing. So you do like cmd equals id, we get that to www data. So if you've seen me do a box before, like when it comes to like getting a reverse shell, I get it like so quick. Because like we can run commands, the next thing of course would be getting a shell. I wouldn't bother to like run commands here. It's pointless. So all I do is type shell, and I'm going to explain just this in one bit, and then it's going to echo something to my clipboard. When I have this here, I'll just get a shell. Like this, it looks a bit wacky, but it's pretty much a shell. And a stabilized one, because I can do stuff and, autocomplete and stuff like that. So, yep. So now to the part where, I'm explaining. Okay, one sec. Cool. So shell is what I ran, right? And it's it's nothing much. It's basically um it's so for the first command, it's using sed, and it's looking for any IP inside the X file, and it's replacing that with my current tan0 IP address. That's basically it. And this X file is what you get. Let me just show you the X file. Or I could just like do a sabo like this. Cool. So this is the X file, and you can get it from reverseshell.sh, and then you give it your IP and the port like that. And basically, this file, what it does is on the box, because it's running sh, because it's like gonna run on the box eventually. It's just gonna check like if Python is there. So that's what command is doing. It's like, okay, if Python is there, then and it doesn't error out, then run this command, then exit, and I guess wait, it only exits. Okay, this is so weird. So the thing is, when a command runs, it's just gonna die, like the whole of it. It's not gonna run anything else because um, it's already spawned like a shell. So everything else here is irrelevant at that point. But basically, it's trying all this reverse shell one-liners. So we have Perl, we have RM, we have the classic bin bash and stuff like that. I should add like more of them because like there's a cool website. If you go to like revshells.com, uh, you'll get like much more sort of like one-liners. Um, on Windows, you do like a PowerShell. Mostly, okay, don't use that one, not that one. This one, yeah, this one. So mostly we use this one. And the way I do it is just for me, I just do like Nishang reverse. Um, did I change like that? That's embarrassing. Let me see. It's like my scripts. Let me see. How do I do this? Hmm. Where's oh, it's just Nishang. Okay, Nishang. Cool. And then I just copy this and like do the PowerShell tag e here, or I do like PowerShell encoding, then bypass and stuff like that. yeah, so there's a cool site. You can check it out. Um, so where was I? I was on shell and explaining what the script is doing. So let's go back there. So basically, the web root directory on my box, it's hosted by Apache. So that would mean even if I do a curl, like it's always gonna be live. It's not good practice, but this is a VM, so like it's fine. But just I'm just saying like it's easier that way instead of like having to like run Python, then spawn the HTTP server and stuff like that. Once I do a curl, because if you check the command I ran here, it's just a curl on my box, then HTTP, then X, and piper to bash. So yeah, that's basically what it's doing. So let me go. So HTTP cat X. So when I say it's looking for an IP, literally the sed, this first command, when I say it's looking for an IP, I mean like every IP here, it's gonna replace that with my turn. So if you do like if config, it's gonna replace it with my turn 0 IP. So that way I can easily, in case I change my VPN and stuff like that, I'll still be able to quickly get a shell and I don't have to like do further configurations and stuff like that. So that's basically it for sed. Now for echo. Echo is just copying the curl command on my clipboard so that like when I've started the when I've ran shell, it's gonna copy that. Then I go to like the browser and then run that. Yeah. Then this is just a check. It's all every time I use port 9001. I could decide to use like 443 or something. So that's just a check to see whether if there's an argument, um, you're gonna use that port like whatever I specify. So if I do like a shell 443, it's gonna listen on that port. Then the next thing is now the stabilizing of the shell. This one is a lot. Like, let me just copy it like this and have like separate them on like per line. Sorry. Uh, oh, that's annoying. Okay, like this and like this, like what, like this. Yep, that's basically it. So it's doing stty row minus echo. So if you've played around with stabilizing a shell, normally you run this. So it's gonna do that, and then it's gonna echo, export term equals x term. So normally we do that so that you can clear the screen. So like if I hadn't stabilized this, so if I do like that and I wanna like clear the screen, I can do like Control L and that will do that. But if you haven't stabilized it, that's all gonna work. Um, so now the fun part is this one, and for this, these are like three different commands. So there's which Python, then which Python 3, then which script. So basically, you saw like pipe stuff here, and that means or. So basically, what I'm doing or what I'm telling the script to do is when you get a shell, run which Python. And remember when I talked of end-end, when I was talking about like the script that scans for ports, if which Python runs successfully, it means Python is running and it will give you like a directory. So now if that runs and if it works, just have the location of Python and then run the classic TTY trick. And now here's where the or comes in. If this whole thing doesn't work, then go and run which Python 3. So if there's Python 3, give it the location of Python 3 and then run the TTY stuff. If that doesn't work as well, then the final command that you want to run is script, because also script can be used to like stabilize a shell. So it's gonna do with script. If it runs successfully, if it finds like a directory, um, it's gonna have the location there, and then run qc bin bash them now, and yeah, that's pretty much. And then from here, it's like setting the columns and rows. So usually do like stty, and then we specify like I guess the column and then the row, because this awk command, the $2 $3, it's gonna have like two things. It's gonna print out two things. Like I don't know. Oops. So let me have like when you say like print $2 then $3, we are saying like print the second match together with the third match. If that makes sense. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So it's gonna have, I guess, the row here, then the column, and then run stty on whatever it finds there. And then it's gonna do an echo reset. This is just to clean up the shell when you wanna exit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So that's what it runs. Yes. So that's pretty much it. And from here now we can list directories and stuff, and you can see there's a flag.txt, and you can just cut the flag and be done with the machine. So yeah, that's that's pretty much it. But remember, we haven't answered the questions, and frankly I didn't expect the session to go this long, just because I don't know, I just didn't expect it to go this long, but it's fine. So I guess we can go back and answer the questions. How many TCP ports are open? We know there was 22 and 80, so that's two. And it's asking what's the domain name of the email address provided in the contact section. This was the topaz.htb. And it says, in the absence of a DNS server, which Linux file can be used to resolve host names to IP addresses in order to be able to access the websites that point to the host names. This would be Etsy hosts. It's the local DNS file, so it just resolves the domains for you. Which subdomain is discovered during further enumeration? We didn't get to do this because starting point is just terrible, but it was s3.topaz.htb. Which service is running on the discovered subdomain? What do you mean which service? Is it like Amazon? I'm being guided by the placeholder, so I guess it's Amazon S3. Great. And which command utility can be used to interact with the service running on the discovered subdomain? That would be AWS. Wait, yeah, AWS CLI, but the command was actually AWS. So yeah, which command is used to set up the AWS CLI installation? That would be AWS configure. And if you remember, I passed just random data to this because it's running on like local stack, and it doesn't have like an IMA to like certify that the keys and stuff are like uh what they're the actual, like they're what they are like they're in the actual configuration, so like authenticate and stuff like that. Like when you have a password, the website knows, okay, the username is admin and the password is something, so like stuff like that. um okay, so what is the command used by the above utility to list all the S3 buckets? That would be AWS. Well, one sec. So AWS S3, then ls. But remember, you need to specify the endpoints. Was it endpoint URL? Yeah, endpoint URL. I keep saying like external URL for some reason, but yeah, it's endpoint URL. Then this server is configured to run files written in what scripting language? I guess that would be PHP. According to, remember when I came here and yeah, that's basically where you get your answer from. So PHP. And then the last bit, submit the root flag. And I know the shell is gonna die because the box is gonna, so let me just exit out of this and submit the flag. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Sick. Wait, that's not true. I haven't pawned all the machines. There's still these ones that need VIP access. And because I'm broke, yeah. But Phrase is gonna get me one, I hope. So that's pretty much the box. Unless anyone has any questions, I guess I'll just leave the VM like this, just in case anyone needs like an interactive kind of question clarified. Okay, we're done. Questions, comments, insults. Uh, you're welcome. I'm breaking. Oh, she already says I'm breaking. Oh, I was breaking. That's concerning. Oh no. Last night is asking, so have you gotten anything interesting while using Nmap for UDP ports? Yes, I'm gonna work on that. Wait, you talk about Nmap? Oh, not really. Actually, I rarely do the UDP scan, and so far in the boxes I've seen, the last time there was a UDP port, was sometime sometime back. So I guess yeah, when we were doing something to do with like emails and SMTP servers, I guess. So yeah, UDP, no, not really. So their search also fails to identify it. Oh, really? That's interesting. Because I did find it. So we have a problem. Um, why use Nmap to scan UDP? What do you mean exactly? Because Nmap just we use Nmap to scan ports, or you mean like Rust scan and I think there's like mass scan and stuff like that. Well, I use Nmap because everyone uses Nmap. I don't think I have a better explanation to why I use Nmap. So yeah, Nmap is pretty cool, I guess. So that's why I use Nmap. AWS has the worst documentation. Agreed, because I tried looking for the command to do what? What was it? To connect to the URL endpoint? Yeah, and there was nothing there. Jamie says scripting on steroids. Uh, I guess. I just find Bash like really fun to do. That's why I use it. Yeah. Asola says great session. Thank you. CPO. I wanted to ask about Modar. Is it another script? It's not a script. It's an alias. So let me just. So what it's doing is it's doing a make directory of $1 and then changing directory to whatever you passed to it, like that. So basically what it's saying is the argument you're gonna pass to it, it's gonna make that directory and then it's going to move into whatever you passed as the argument. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, so that's basically, so you could do like alias modar equals to that and you'd be good. Anything else? Seems Asula has a question. He's been typing for a bit. You can't compete with John Koth. The guy has automated almost everything. Oh yeah, I should show you guys that by the way. No, I don't cheat. I don't cheat. Actually, the thing is, I met a guy. He's a sysadmin from Canada. He goes by. What does he go by? It's been a while since we talked. Let me see. The academy. The academy. Where is the academy though? The academy. Here we go. So he goes by F11 Snipe. He's the one who like told me um what we were playing Koth, and this guy is telling me I have this bash script to do this and this and this, and I was like, okay, cool. Personally, I have notes that I just copy and paste commands, and he was like, bro, just use expect. So apparently, expect is a language that automates keystrokes. I don't know how. I think in Python we have like I think in Python there's PyExpect. Okay, let me explain it in this manner. I think you all know the is it Rabadaki, the one you plug into a laptop and it starts like typing stuff and running commands. That's the same thing. So he influenced me, and I basically decided to build my own script. And I hope I still have it. Let me see. Track me, Koth. Huh? There's no Koth. Okay, I'm sure it's in under my scripts. There we go. So the problem with expect is it doesn't have syntax highlighting. So when I was making this, trust me, it was painful. It was really painful because you have to like escape special characters, and because there isn't syntax highlighting, you can't really tell what characters you need to escape. So this the entire thing. It's quite long. It's like how many lines? 634. Yep. So let me just explain what one is doing, if I can remember. That is, let me see, because it's been a while since I played. Okay, so for food is a machine on Koth. So in this case, it's gonna try SSH, and then you see like that question that asks yes or no. It's gonna send yes, and then it's gonna wait for a colon and a space. So that's like asking you for the password. Then it's gonna send the password because the password doesn't change apparently. So and then it's gonna wait until you log in. Then it's gonna send this command. So I think root shell. I was using it to do what? I think it's like a security binary or something. And then really, I think it's an exploit. Oh yeah, it's an exploit to like get root instantly. So I also grab the shared library, and then I move into Etsy. So all this is part of the whatever of the of the CVE. So I need to run all this, and then from there I get root because you can see I expect that pound sign, and then I send my name to king.text, and then I wget hide.sh from my box, and and this one basically what it does is it mounts my process on a disk somewhere, and so like if you're trying to look for guys who are logged in to kick them out, you won't find me. So yeah. And then it's gonna run that in a loop, and then it will constantly as well in a loop echo my public key to the root's authorized keys file, and then it does a couple of things basically like those were good times, and I think I should check my let me check whether because it's been a while since I played actually King of the Hill. Let me see. Let me go to the dashboards. That is if I'm still logged in. I need to log back in. So do it. Okay, cool. Crosswalks like this. That way. Okay, cool. Oh no. Yeah. Awesome. Login. Compete leaderboards. I guess I'm still top 10 in the world, probably, but the gap, the gap is depressing. My boy Matthews has won over 1,000 games. That's mad. Then this is the guy I was talking about, F11 Snipe. So he's a sales admin, and I don't think there's anything about Bash that he doesn't know. Like the guy is just mad. He's a friend of mine from India. He's a friend of mine from I don't know what country is this. Okay, yeah. And then there's John Collins, representing the third world country. Yeah. So yeah, um, you can't play against me because those scripts are dangerous. How long did it take? It's one of those things. Yeah, it's an autopon actually. So it's an autopon written in expect. How long did it take me? Well, it's one of those scripts like you build over time. Like you notice, oh, okay, I could do this, or on this box I could do this, and then you just build it over time. Yeah, and then Way says it's been a while. Stream some code. Wanna see how the script works? Okay, sure, I will. You know that guy who like Matthews or F11 or yeah, Matthews is crazy and he's younger than me, so do note that. But he's from Brazil, so like Brazilians are insane. Yeah. Oh, F11. Okay, yeah, he's pretty insane. Any other question at this point? I can stop streaming, I guess. Anything else? Nothing else? Okay. So I guess phrase you can uh whatever can close the session. But I'm really concerned about what Shilradi was saying. Like, was I lagging? Like, guys, was I lagging? Could you just comment? Because it would be really bad if I was. It has never happened. Anyone? Waze? Was I lagging? Ah, lakini Waze use your internet is terrible. Don't even tell me. Uh, who can tell me here? All right. Okay, guys are saying I wasn't lagging. So it means Sheldradi was in a bar somewhere doing something. Sheldradi uses Telcom. I bet he does. Cause like when I saw that, like he said I was lagging, it kind of made sense, especially cause uh, like the starting point machine was lagging. Phrase, could you just mute a little bit? Like I can hear an echo. Yeah, so, cause like the machine was lagging, I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then remember when I was installing AWS CLI, it was going pretty slow. So if I was lagging, that made sense. But I guess if I wasn't, awesome. Yeah, cool. So now I guess phrase you can continue. Yeah, to make the server more active. No, phrase isn't lagging. The problem with phrase is his mic. That's the problem. Ah, no worries, no worries. Yeah, starting with me. Eh, uh-huh. Ah, sweet. Dope. So thanks. Yeah, awesome. Okay. Eh, I couldn't hear what you were saying. I'm not gonna lie. So I just went with the vibes and I was like, okay, yes, sure. Don't tell him I said that. Anyway, thanks guys for hanging out. Stay safe. Good night, and see you all on Friday because I have to be here to record. Uh, yeah. So cheers.